When I broke the story that Red Lobster was filing for bankruptcy a couple of days ago, I never could have imagined just how disgusting and deep the truth of their failure runs. Today, we're going to find out what exactly happened to Red Lobster. Yeah, welcome back into the channel, everybody. I never would have dreamed that the story about Red Lobster's bankruptcy was anything more than what we normally see when these companies struggle and they end up either filing bankruptcy or going out of business altogether. Now, Red Lobster is not going out of business yet. However, I'm going to start this video off with an opinion and with a guess that by the end of this year, beginning of 25, Red Lobster is out of business permanently. Unless something drastic happens and somebody steps in and takes them over, I don't think that's going to happen. Pause the video, take 2 seconds, go comment down below and tell me whether you agree with me or whether you think Red Lobster is going to make a comeback. We'll have to wait and see. Won't know that for the next 6 to 12 months. With that said, let's jump into today's story, which is the truth about exactly what happened behind closed doors with Red Lobster and how it applies to you or me as a very small business compared to this $2 billion Red Lobster empire, or what was $2 billion before now. So the story goes like this. During the pandemic, Red Lobster, just before the pandemic in 2020, early 2020, Red Lobster ends up selling off 49% of its business, which was controlling stake, the most majority percentage that anyone would own, to a company called Thai Union, who owns Chicken of the Sea. You guys know their tuna fish. Jessica Simpson, famous for that. They are a seafood supplier. They supply seafood from Asia to a lot of seafood restaurants and chains and other things, including ones overseas and ones here in America. They take over this controlling interest in Red Lobster, and they supply Red Lobster with tons and tons of shrimp. Well, they end up getting rid of Red Lobster's other suppliers. Red Lobster had multiple suppliers of seafood. They get rid of the other 2 or 3 suppliers, and they say it's because they don't provide as good a quality seafood as Thai Union does. But Thai Union charges a huge amount of money more. They're a higher price of seafood, but they say their stuff's high quality and that's best for the business. Well, it doesn't work out the way they think. They lose $11 million on the all-you-can-eat endless shrimp deal because they got to sell a ton of shrimp because this company just keeps selling Red Lobster shrimp. So remember, you've got a company here that is a shrimp supplier. They sell shrimp to restaurants. They buy a piece of a restaurant and then they just start pumping this seafood over to Red Lobster at a higher price. So they get to make a ton of money. And it turns out, in my opinion, and what it looks like is that the owners, the CEOs, the executives of this seafood company, all they cared about was Red Lobster buying as much of their seafood at a high price as possible so they could make tons of money. And if Red Lobster couldn't survive after that, well, that's the way the cookie crumbles. That seems to be the opinion. On top of that, the former executives at Red Lobster who quit, resigned, or were fired, who've been there 30 years, said that these people that came in don't know how to run restaurants. They know about seafood and supply. They don't know about running family restaurants or casual dining or any of this sort of thing. And they made changes to the dining rooms. They made changes to the menus, their costs, their labor. All this stuff went crazy because they didn't know what they were doing. Common, it happens in a lot of places. Somebody with a lot of money steps into a business, they don't know anything about the business, they crash and run the business into the ground. Having an investor with a lot of money doesn't always mean good things for the business because yeah, the money helps the business, but it doesn't help run the business and fix what's wrong with the company that caused it to not have money. You have to fix the problems, whether it's labor, whether it's kitchen cleanliness, whether it's social media presence, or whatever it is, you have to fix that. And no amount of money can fix all that. You can keep pumping money into something, and if you keep making the same mistakes, you'll keep losing that money. And so that's where I wanted to reference you in to our small businesses. You have to educate yourself. You have to learn. You have to figure things out. You got to learn, products and sales and marketing and what works and what doesn't work. You can't keep doing the same thing over and over again. Even if you have endless capital to keep just pumping into bad material, if you keep buying bad inventory with all this money, you're never going to get better sales. So you got to educate yourself and learn about the business that you're in, whether it's selling shrimp or whether it's selling t-shirts or whether it's selling computers and laptops and iPads, shoes, whatever it is that you sell, you have to educate and learn about what makes that product sell good. How much can you get for that product? Where can you buy it the cheapest with the best quality? What can you do to entice buyers to buy from you instead of other people? Marketing, advertising, promoting. What can you do to be the best at what you sell? Again, whether it's shirts, whether it's shoes, whether it's shrimp, whether it's laptops, you got to be the expert. Now, I'm not saying you can't learn. I'm not saying that people didn't start from somewhere, of course, but you've got to know what you're doing, or no amount of money, capital, time is going to fix your mistakes. You're just going to keep spinning and spinning and spinning your wheels. Red Lobster, on the other hand, wasn't just spinning their wheels. They were getting eaten alive from the inside. Those people at Thai Union were only worried about one thing, and that was selling them seafood and shrimp to make the most amount of money for their pocket. And if Red Lobster ultimately ended up failing, it wasn't the end of the world, at least in their eyes. This happens a lot when companies pillage other companies, milk them dry, take everything from them, and then often running with the profits and don't care what happens to the brand or the name of the company after they get their piece out of it. So that seems like what possibly happened here, allegedly. I'm not gonna, state at a Supreme Court hearing that that's the case, but it certainly appears that way. Also, it is alleged that the new CEO and executive made very, very degrading and disgusting remarks about women employees and minorities and other employees. In fact, there was a lady at a Dallas conference. She was going up on stage at an event they had to accept a reward. She was apparently overweight, and the former CEO made a comment stating that they need to install exercise facilities for the employees because of people like her. Just terrible things. And so that doesn't help a company's morale. That doesn't help get a company back up to point. This is all a recipe for disaster for Red Lobster. This is how it got to where it's going. Never mind the pandemic. Restaurants lost tons of money being closed, customers, rising inflation, rising food costs, rising employee costs, rising taxes, rising expenses. All this stuff combined with the terrible working environment, toxic working environment, and with them pillaging the funds and selling off all this shrimp that didn't do well. And now you've got bankruptcy for Red Lobster, and what I believe will be the end of an era. I think by the end of this year, Red Lobster goes belly up. They go out of business. They close all the rest of the remaining stores, since they've already closed, I think, 100 of them. I think they're done. We'll have to wait and see. If you didn't already, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Will Red Lobster survive? And how do you feel about businesses that take money, that take investment, that have partners, whether it's a big company like this, billions of dollars, or whether it's a small company like ourselves, getting loans, getting credit cards, working on, you can get a $100,000 credit card tomorrow and go spend it on tons of inventory. But if you don't know what you're doing, all you're going to do is charge up a credit card. You're not going to make money, and you're not going to do things to keep the business floating. You're going to end up bankrupt like Red Lobster. So money doesn't solve all problems. It solves most problems. It doesn't solve all problems. And just make sure that you understand that and realize that you have to get the processes and the numbers and the business under control. Know your numbers. Damon John says it best. Know your numbers, know your processes, know your people, know your everything. And as long as you get all that right, the money will take care of itself. Sales will come, and your business will be okay. All right, with that said, I'll leave you guys to your weekend. Please remember, we're having a huge sale on my listing service, the cheapest we've ever put these listings out. All you have to do is upload your photos. You can do it on our website or our mobile app, so you can use your computer or you can use your phone. Do it anywhere at any time. You can use the credits at any point, slowly, quickly, all day, every day, any day. They never expire, so get as many as you can now. Lock them in so that the price doesn't go up on you, and we'll take care of it. Any category, any item, we do everything. The title, description, item specifics. We do your handling time, your shipping policies, your return policies, your best offers. We put everything in, you price it and make it live, and your store grows and you make more money. We have done over 300,000 listings for clients since the end of 2022/23, so in a little over a year and a half. And we want you guys as a part of the team. Ecommercelisters.com, link down below. No coupon needed, no coupon code or discount code. They are completely discounted right on the website. Ecommerce Listers with an S.com. Go check it out, get your credits. They never expire, and we will see you over on the website.